going on, brother? How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good, man.
Dude, I love your bike, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I got a YouTube channel if you ever want to check it out. It's Instructor Cory.
Inspector what?
Instructor Cory.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I'll throw you up on there.
Alright, man.
Notice my space cushioning here. This oncoming traffic, I shift myself over here to the white line in case any of these cars, you know, loses control, veers into my lane. I'll have a little more time and space to try to make something out of nothing. As you're riding, you can always take space cushioning into consideration as far as your lane position goes. So, you know, some people would argue that the middle is the best place, but if that car comes into my lane, oh god, whew, you need to wear a protective cup when you ride. Bumps will get you. Be careful of those. Not feel good. Make you feel alive, I guess. Anyway. Whew, take it off, huh? Some people would argue that the middle is the best position because then you have space cushion between other traffic and the edge of the road. But I would rather take my chances with the edge of the road out here, soft grass and stuff. A couple of those poles might be gnarly, but that 2,000-pound truck is gonna feel a lot worse than anything over there. So unless I hit a tree or something. But I have a lot more options, I feel like, this way. I can ramp into the grass, jump in the ditch, come to a crash in the dirt over there, as opposed to head-on collision with other vehicle. So you can pick and choose, freedom of choice, right? Even if your choice is stupid, you're an idiot. You can take your chances with that head-on collision with the grill of that vehicle. I'll go over there into the field. So figure out the best lane position for you. But you can kind of pay attention to my lane position as I'm cruising here. Notice I'm primarily sticking to one side of the lane or the other, depending on threats and hazards. Like if I'm hugging this white line, but I have cars on these side roads back there pulling up to the stop signs or coming up, then I might move myself to the middle, right? Because now I need a space cushion between if they pull out, if the vehicle head on with me. Now I kind of want equal space cushion. If there's no hazards currently from the right side, then I'm going to hang out over here on the right and give myself more space with the stuff on the left. Yeah, sometimes the middle is a cool spot. Like right now, there's really nothing either left or right, so middle's okay. Notice how much following distance I have between me and the vehicles up ahead. You can see the red light already. I'm already off my throttle, start reducing my speed. Don't need to maintain 50 miles an hour right up to a red light and a bunch of stopped vehicles. You'll notice some of these cars in the left lane here flying up. People like to haul butt straight to a full stop. Kind of stupid. You kind of decelerate ahead of time, slow yourself down. And then notice my lane position here. I know I got this vehicle to my left, so I'll scoot over, give myself more space between them. I never want to line myself up dead center with the license plate of that vehicle in front of me in case they slam on their brakes. It's going to take me longer to swerve around that vehicle left and right if I'm lined up dead center. If I'm already positioned off to the side, then it's going to be really easy for me to just push and navigate around them. Looking for 7th gear there. So yeah, great tip for you if you're riding a motorcycle is to develop a good following distance between you and the vehicles in front of you. General rule of thumb that I've heard is around a 2-second minimum following distance. So the way that you can actually find that out, how much following distance you have, set yourself up, is pick a fixed object, like this white car passing that green sign. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. So it's about 4 1,000, 4 seconds before I pass that green sign myself. That'll let me know how much following distance I have, right? So I watch this tree here. We're out there. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and then I pass the tree, right? So pick a fixed object, a street sign, mailbox, some marking on the ground, pothole, whatever it is, something you can identify. This yellow sign here, let's try again. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. So now I'm getting a little closer, right? They might be decelerating, I might be maintaining my speed, so I'm shrinking that following distance. If I discover that I'm getting closer to them, then I can decelerate myself, slow it down, back it off, recreate more. So let's try it again. Let's go for this speed limit sign up here when the white car is about lined up with that. All right, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. So about another 4 seconds there. So this is something you can constantly do, is adjust your following distance between you and those vehicles in front of you. And the more you get used to it, you don't really need to pick out a fixed object like that all the time. You can kind of just learn to identify the rate of speed of other vehicles. So if I was to look ahead and see this GMC and see me kind of closing that gap on them rapidly, I could know that I'm going faster than they are, right? If I'm just chilling and there's kind of this equal space or bubble between us, then I know we're doing about the same speed, right? If the gap starts to open up aggressively, then they're taking off and I'm just sitting here doing the same speed, on and so forth. So you can learn to kind of judge that, especially coming up behind you. If you're looking in your mirrors and you see a car coming up and they're kind of smoothly slowing to a stop, then you can maybe, you know, anticipate that they're preparing to stop behind you. If you look in that same mirror and you see the same car coming up and their rate of speed looks pretty intense and they're not really slowing down, then you can maybe anticipate they're going to slam into you at 50 miles an hour and you should be ready to go. So yeah, you want to be very careful and identify that good following distance between you. Give yourself more time, more space to react. Now I mentioned that minimum 2-second following distance, but you can see right here what I got between me and that white van up there. And, you know, you could probably barely even see the white van because it's so far ahead. This is a great following distance for me. So let's try to play the same game and count how much following distance I have between me and that van. Enough that this white car might pull out because there's so much space, right? So let's look for this green sign up here. I'm actually catching up a little bit. Try and set our speed steady. So right around that green sign, the van's about to pass. All right, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. So maybe about 7 seconds of following distance right there between me and that white van. And I'm just holding 40 miles an hour, pretty consistent there. So I like this big gap, right? Notice if I was right behind that green Toyota Tundra right there, I'd only have about like a half second of following distance. So if they make any aggressive maneuvers or slam on their brakes, I'm probably bumping right into their tailgate, right? But if I got all this space to work with between me and that van, then that's ideal. So I notice this car behind me is going to get over in the right, so I can kind of shift myself into this middle gap right here. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good, man.
Dude, I love your bike, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I got a YouTube channel if you ever want to check it out. It's Instructor Cory.
Inspector what?
Instructor Cory.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I'll throw you up on there.
All right, man.
Yeah, so now that the traffic's moving again, I can position myself back over here to the right side, give myself more space cushion between these vehicles over here. Now I gotta watch these side streets for stuff pulling in and out off the road. Cars opening their doors, stuff like that. So no matter where you go, you're gonna have hazards one way or another. If you're right in the middle, then you got a hazard in front and behind you getting sandwiched. If you're off to the side, you got hazards potentially popping in and out on you, right? So figure out what's your best solution, your best situation to work with, what you're most comfortable and safe with. You figure that out. Figure out what you want. Now this section's interesting, right? It went from 2 lanes, now it opens to 3 lanes here. So now you're gonna have stuff coming up on your right as well as your left. So maybe now the middle is a good spot, right? Even though you got a bunch of manhole covers and stuff. But now if I'm in the middle and I have following distance in front of me, I have space cushion on the left, space cushion on the right. Now I got options kind of all around me. That's a pretty good spot to be. Now if a car flies up on my left side and swerves into my lane, I have a little bit of room. Same thing on the right side. I got all this time and space in front of me. All kinds of options, right? And I'm glancing in my rear view mirror, my mirror's here, and I can see how much room I have behind me as well. There's a car way back there, a van I think, that's way back behind me. They have about as much or even more following distance as I have between me and this black truck. So awesome. I'm in a nice little kind of bubble here. Nice little spot. We're gonna pull up to the lake for a second. Check it out. Yeah, give yourself lots of room and space and time. How you doing, sir? So I wanted to give that dude a little wave, but even if you're saying what's up to people, don't neglect what's coming up behind you. Notice I'm always in first gear with my friction zone engaged. I want ideally a hand on my throttle and my clutch in that sweet spot. I'm ready to take off. I'm watching my mirrors. I can see the rate of speed. This Toyota behind me is stopping. But just in case I looked and there's a vehicle just barreling down on me. Sweet little El Camino here. Yeah, that thing's cool. But yeah, just in case I look down and saw, then you know, I'll take whatever options I have available, right? I might have a perfect gap, I might be able to punch it right through the red light, or I might be able to hang a quick left and go into the oncoming lane or whatever. But I need an option. I need to find something. I can't afford to just sit there and have no hope and no chance and get hit. I need to make something happen. So sometimes you might encounter like an out of the frying pan into the fire situation, but if you're gonna die in the frying pan, then jump into the fire, okay? And then try to figure out your next solution for dealing with the fire now, and so on and so forth, right? Don't just sit there in the frying pan and die. Try, right? And you might get burned in the fire, but you're not dead in the frying pan. I don't know. Instructor Cory, 2024. Fucking quote it. Man, I have this strong desire to go rip the shit out of this bike right now. Got some aggression we're dealing with right now. Probably, see, and that's something to be aware of. If you're feeling kind of pissed off and aggressive and kind of fired up, not the best idea to be out on a motorcycle doing dumb stuff. You want to clear your head and take your time and be safe and responsible. Take a quick look at the lake here. Stop for long. There's that set of stairs just chilling. It's funny. We came here a while back. I think there's some footage of it where the water level was so far down and it was like just this little puddle out in the middle. Now it's all full all the way up to the sides here. Pretty. Kind of want to go jump and do a cannonball right in there, or just launch my motorcycle, hit this little jump right here and fly in. Might be kind of fun. Let's move on, shall we? Shall we? Ba-bump, ba-bump. pretty. Here's counter steering for you. Right curve, I'm just pushing super gentle on my right hand grip. Such a mild curve. It's almost instinctual. You almost don't have to put any inputs into the bike. The bike just kind of wants to do it itself. Amazing machines that we all take for granted. So another one here. Notice I'm going straight. Now I just want to navigate this curve. I'm just gently pushing a little forward pressure on my right hand grip. And notice I'm able to just come around there. Now if I wanted to dodge a little pothole or something, push a little more pressure. I can push and then I can ease up on the pressure to straighten up. I can pull it towards me to drift over to the left side. Watch some of these bumps. But with very mild, easy curves like this, left and right, the input you need is super minimal. Let's see if I could even navigate this one without even touching my bars. Try and just hold my throttle steady. Look at this. See, I can counter steer. Watch over that big bump. Ooh. I can counter steer with just index finger and a thumb. You can see what the bike's doing. You can change lanes. Notice where I position myself here. Checking my mirrors as soon as I come to a stop, prior to stopping fully. In the friction zone, in first gear. Test it out, make sure your bike's ready to move. Check it all out. What's up, brother? I like those shades.
You what?
I like your shades.
Thank you.
That's pretty. So yeah, if you want to chat with somebody, then make sure you're always checking your mirrors too. Don't get distracted and get cleaned up while you're sitting here. That thing's pretty. Pretty, pretty. Yeah, get some shots of that thing. It's pretty. I'm about to get carried away. I need to just turn around and go back. I'm feeling like having a fun little rip, but don't need to get too crazy right now. See if we can pull right through here and find an exit. Find an exit. I like all these hearts all around town. They're pretty cool. So when you're trying to pull out onto a road like this, make sure you wait for a nice gap. You don't want to try to just jump in this little one, because if you miss a shift, your bike stalls, whatever, you have an issue, then you're just putting yourself in a bad position, right? So instead, look, the light's changing yellow. Here comes the last truck through. Now I got all day long to creep through here, merge into the lane, give it some gas, right? So it's such a more relaxed, chill experience instead of trying to hurry and rush, you know, rush the process, throw yourself in there. Just take your time, don't rush it. Don't rush the process. Don't rush it. Rush it. Oh. Sometimes you hit a bump and one of your huevos rancheros is lodged up in your stomach now. Okay. Check the mirrors, friction zone, first gear. Check out this old orange truck with the camper shell. That thing's sweet. Old dude with a pipe, corn cob pipe. like it. So look, they get a green arrow, and then it should be our green light next. You can kind of learn how traffic signals and stuff work, kind of the sequence of the signals and the order of things. Now we should get the green light, so you can be ready to go. Always checking for, you know, cross traffic, people not paying attention, people running red lights, people trying to swing that turn real quick at the last second. So same thing here. Watch the counter steering. I'll try to keep my camera kind of angled down for you. Just notice what, I'll just use the one hand. I'll try to do the 2-finger method here unless there's a big bump. But notice the bike is gonna follow the road here. I'm putting very minimal, effortless input into this thing, and I can get this bike to navigate these curves, right? If they are more intense, aggressive curves, I could definitely get down and push my handlebars and counter steer all over the place, go where I need to go. But for these mellow things like this, I'm doing about 40 miles an hour. I'm just trying to hold my throttle steady. Another one there. And I'm able to just navigate down the road without any issue, with just minor push and pulls on this hand grip, almost non-existent, right? Almost cognitive, intuitive, without any physical effort or input. It's almost like you're Magneto and you're, you know, just mind controlling the metal and shit, man. Fluffy dog. But yeah, notice still just the index finger and thumb, navigating around the curve, trying to hold the throttle mostly steady. Lots of little bikes out today. Give them a wave. The downshift to gear there, going a little slow. Adjust myself off of the gas tank. This is my turn. Throw on a blinker. Give a little signal, a little flash pump of my brake lights there. And shift down to second. Bang this corner, cancel your signal, signal left. Now notice we turn onto this road, we got 3 lanes again. It's wide open. Looking in my mirrors, there's nobody behind me right now. So I got all this room, big old bubble. This is ideal for a motorcycle. Motorcycle ride, motorcycle safety. Get yourself away from everyone, all right? You're trying to have some fun on your machine, get away from all the cars and trucks and other bikers, and just ride your motorcycle, practice your skills, techniques, have some fun on this machine. Alright? The more space you have from the rest of the world, the better. Then you can start concentrating on potholes and bumps and this and that. Try to turn in here. This is the one. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. Watch the skateboarder. Mr. Skateboarder man. Watch for cross traffic in these alleyways. Boom, boom, boom. Watch the drainage ditch and the bumpy bumps. When you park your bike, you can park it right here, centered in the space, so that you have that kind of same space cushion you're dealing with on the road. That way people trying to get in and out of their cars aren't hitting you and dinging your bike and whatever. Notice I have kind of good overall cushion bubble all the way around it, front, behind, and to the side. Yeah. And then notice this, if you have the opportunity to pull it in, then you can just take off going forward when it's time to leave. You don't have to worry about trying to get up on your tippy toes and back it out and stuff like that. So if you ever have that opportunity, even squeeze it through and get yourself positioned forward orientated like this. Make your life a little easier, especially as a beginner. Alrighty. got us a couple goodies from good old Natural Grocer. Now it's time to hit the trail again. Watch for people on the sidewalk. Watch for the truck turning. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. If you remember nothing else I say, just remember to ride a motorcycle smooth like peanut butter. It'll probably treat you just fine. The smoother you are on this machine, the smoother it's gonna be. So remember to be smooth like peanut butter. Peanut butter. Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. Pretty nice weather today. Feels pretty good. Pretty good out. Nice big head check. Remember to cancel your turn signal whenever you finish making your turns. Notice traffic's kind of jumbled up here, but I can still put myself in a better position there for a potential escape route. I could go by side of the red car and then swerve around the white one. Give yourself some options. Always need some options. Drive along here and sniff the different restaurants and food cooking. I think there's a little pizza joint right up here. Slice and roll pizza pub. Check it out sometime. Watch any of these cars parked along the curb. You never know when they're gonna finish doing their thing and decide to pull on out. Watch people opening their doors and doing stuff. Just watch out for everything, really. Keep your eyes open, watch out. So there's a nice little curve to the left and then the right at the bottom of this hill. Kind of like a little snaky snake. So we'll touch on some counter steering again for the non-believers. I want to say I'm in 3rd or 4th gear, doing 40 miles an hour right now. You can see the curve approaching up ahead. Sign says 30 is a good range, okay? So I'm reducing my speed just a little, setting myself up. Now watch my hand. I'm actually pulling the bar towards me a little bit. The bike's leaning into the left. Now watch this same right hand. Make it to the right here. I'm just pushing forward ever so slightly. Notice I can maintain that line. Come right through the curve, right? So push, pull to make it through there. Or ideally, if I had both hands on my bars like I'm supposed to, I would push either way, right? So I'd push to make the left turn first, and once I'm around it, I'd push to make the right turn. But same can be achieved when it's super mellow and easy, just by using that one hand, push and pull. Very minimal, not much happening. Very minimal adjustments. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. Now watch this dreaded green light, left turning vehicles. Oh my God, I'm gonna die here. The yellow light, slow it down. Watch for people behind you, not gonna slow it down. Intersections are a non-issue as far as I'm concerned, so the amount of bikers that get cleaned up and surprised and cut off and killed is kind of ridiculous, and really no need for it. Notice I'm just hanging out. I'm not even doing anything with my throttle. Just hanging out in my friction zone here. Notice I'm just squeezing it in, rocking back, then I'm easing that lever out, letting the bike start to pull me forward. Power's going to that rear wheel. So you can always test this every time you stop. Just play in that friction zone. Make sure that the bike has some power, that you're in gear, that it's ready to go. I don't know what he was saying. Front tires a little low looking, maybe. Back tire a little low. I think we're looking okay. Maybe he was signaling us about something. Maybe we got some shit leaking. Don't know. Red arrow should get a green light here. There it is. So since we did get a little point from that gentleman, who knows, maybe we do need to inspect our bike. Maybe there is something wrong with it. Maybe I shouldn't just go ripping down this highway doing 200 miles an hour, hoping for the best. If there is some kind of mechanical issue that he noticed that I'm not aware of, that's something I should become aware of, right? But he might have just been saying, hey, cool bike, bro. Hard to tell sometimes. Looked like he was pointing at something though, so not sure. But I think we are going to stop and try and get a little bit of gas maybe, so that'll give us an opportunity. Until then, it's about a few miles away, so until then we'll just try to take our time, take it easy, not go ripping and racing, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So in regards to lane position, again, space cushions, my threats and hazards are going to be mostly from the left side now, coming up from behind me, passing me, stuff like that. I can position myself over here to the right side. Ugh. And those giant bumps, so they're going to be a threat or hazard all the time. But notice I got lots of soft places to go and options and space to the right. So keep myself away from the big metal things hauling butt to my left. That'll set me up for some success. Lane position, space cushion, escape routes, following distance. What else have we not touched on? So red light here, this is a good tip. I'm already decelerating. It's a red light. I'm watching the cars behind me. I can start downshifting smoothly. Probably in second gear now. Now the light's turning green. I haven't even touched my brakes yet. Now the cars are starting to move again. Now I'm gently getting back on my throttle here just a tiny bit as they start to resume forward progress. So a great way to handle any kind of intersections, traffic, stopping, whatever. If the light's going to turn green eventually, you don't have to race up there and then sit there at a dead stop. You can kind of slow down ahead of time and keep yourself moving, creeping up to the stopped traffic, and then by the time you get there, they're moving again. So thinking ahead, planning ahead, keep yourself rolling. That's a fun way to do it. A little head check before you change lanes. You watch some counter steering here on this turn. I'm going to downshift ahead of time. I'm going to position myself over here. So even on these curves that look a little gnarly, like watch my counter steering, what it involves. I'm going to hold my speed steady. Look, I'm pointing my nose through the turn. So look at my hands. I have the one hand. Alright, it's so easy. Now watch this way. I'm going to try to do the two-finger method for you again, so hopefully you're catching my hand down there, as well as I'm kind of pointing my nose through here. That's it. There's counter steering, right? Now a little more aggressive version is pushing forward, causing the bike to weave from one side of the lane to the other, right? So now the same thing I was just doing through those curves, this is how much input I was giving the bike, right? Compared to this, all the way from one side to the other. So I had a couple videos where I'm just riding down a straight road like this and I'm pushing, and that is what counter steering is. And people are saying, you're not counter steering, you're not going through a turn, how can you be counter steering, you're not turning? It's like, oh, really? To get from the right side of the lane to the left side of the lane isn't a turn, huh? If the road curved, if I went into that driveway, I would do that same push and hold that push and go right into that driveway, just like I went around those curves back there. So there's a lot of idiots in the world, but what can you do? Try and educate them. That's That's what I'm here for. Try and teach you something, educate you. I am well aware that you do not know what you're talking about, so I'll try to help you out. Try and give you a lesson free of charge. Just watch this YouTube video. Maybe you'll learn something. Probably not, but maybe. maybe. So yeah, pretty amazing. Like, no road is truly super straight, right? Every road, like this one, even has some kind of curvature left and right as it's snaking along. It mostly looks like, but even right here, it's kind of a curve to the right over this bump. So this requires just a tiny touch of counter steering, right? To push, to navigate, to weave the bike over, and on and so forth. Now when a road is just running straight, I'm kind of bored on it, so that's when I'm pushing on my handlebars and I'm weaving the bike around just to play around a little bit and have some fun with your pushing, with your counter steering, even though you're mostly going straight, right? Now if you're riding through the canyons and the twisties and the road was actually snaking back and forth, then that's what most bikers are seeking, is that those types of roads, those types of twisties, that type of fun stuff. Shoot. Pull it right on up and get some gasoline. And then we can check our bike out and see if there's any issues. Other than my key being pretty bent, you see that? Thing's pretty bent. Yeah, let's check out our front tire. What's the deal? Are we okay? What do we got going here? So yeah, if somebody pulls up beside you and points at your bike, then maybe it's worth it to take a gander. See if anything's hanging off, flapping in the wind. You still got brakes, still got a chain intact, still got tires with air pressure. Is everything okay? If so, then that's good. Alright, let's run inside here real quick. Get some gasoline. What are we on? Number 2. Hello. There's a pair of shades on here that we've been eyeballing. Maybe it was those. I like them so much. Hey, can I get 7 on 2? Yeah. Please and thank you.
Alright, you have a beautiful day.
Thank you, you too. Let's see how much gas it'll take. Let us see. Might not even take the full $7. Nope.